Troll Slaying by Finn, a guide to identify the lusty Argonian maid by Crassius. Troll Slaying by Finn, a guide to identifying, fighting, and collecting fat from trolls. Hello, fellow traveler, and welcome to this guide. Within these pages, I will explain everything you need to know about fighting trolls, including how to negate their amazing healing powers and how to best take advantage of their natural love of cold. I'll even share with you my tried and true secret for killing trolls. Intrigued? I hope so. Troll fat is a valuable commodity, and there's fortune and glory to be made for the ambitious troll hunter. Onward, then! Chapter 1. I just saw a troll. If you think you've seen a troll, remain calm and slowly back away. The wise hunter knows that preparation is the key to success, and you certainly don't want to hunt any trolls unprepared. Ah, but is it really a troll that you've spotted? The first step in your hunt is the proper identification of your quarry. Trolls are roughly man-shaped, with lengthy, muscular arms that end in claw-tipped fingers. The creature's large mouth is filled with jagged teeth, all the better to crunch the bones of foolish hunters who don't purchase my book. Without a doubt, the troll's most distinctive and unusual feature is the third eye nestled in the center of its forehead. A troll's hide is covered in thick, shaggy fur. The coloration of this fur varies by region. Cave troll fur is brownish in color, while a frost, a snow troll, will have a white coat. Chapter 2. Stop healing yourself. So, you've properly identified a troll, and now you're stalking the beast, ready to strike. You're in for a challenging battle, but a profitable one, assuming you survive. The first thing you'll notice is that trolls are incredibly fast and strong for their size. A troll likes to pummel its prey into submission with powerful arm strikes and claw attacks. For this reason, I strongly recommend a shield. If you're brave enough, or foolish enough, to fight a troll without using a shield, then you'd better be an expert at parrying with whatever weapon you've got. Trolls also have the ability to rapidly heal from their wounds. As such, you do not want to get into a prolonged fight with one. Speed and aggression are the key to beating a troll, because there is no creature in Tamriel that can outlast one. Of course, speed and aggression will only take you so far against an angry troll. This is where my secret weapon comes in. Chapter 3. Finn's secret weapon. Fire, my friend. Say the word and commit it to memory, for fire is the troll hunter's ultimate weapon. I cannot overstate the importance of fire in battling a troll. Even trolls that don't dwell in cold climates are vulnerable to fire. If you're unable to use fire magic, carry a weapon enchanted with arcane flames. Why is the troll vulnerable to fire? Rumor holds that the troll's regenerative abilities are less effective at healing burns. I don't really know the answer, but I can promise you this. Fire works against trolls. This has been proven time and again. Chapter 4. Trimming the fat. The troll might be dead, but your job isn't finished just yet. Let the flames die down, and then examine the troll's corpse. If you're lucky, you'll find some fat deposits that will fetch a good price in an apothecary shop. In fact, if you've got a knack for alchemy yourself, you can boil the fat down for use in all manner of potions and tonics. If you can find it, be sure to check the troll's den as well. Perhaps you'll find the remains of some foolish adventurer who was too cheap-minded to purchase this book. No doubt, you can put his coin to wiser use. Now, you know everything that you need to make a living as a wealthy and reputable troll hunter. Go on then, get out there and find yourself some trolls.
Good afternoon. Yes?
Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Was they here roaming? Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts. Could last.
Need something? It would seem so.
Nice nice weather for a book of maps. It's getting downright hot.
What can I do for you? Need something? It would seem so.
Hi. Need something? It would seem so. Another quiet day. Need something? You expect me to believe that?
Huh? Need something? It would seem so.
Need something? It would seem so.
Well met, kinsman.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions. You look like someone who knows how to wield a weapon. Well, you've come to the right place.
Killing Before You're Killed by Eduardo Corvas. Tips on effective combat methods. I've seen many a man rush headlong into battle, only to have their life cut short in an instant. I've been a trainer of the warrior arts for many spans, cut from the cloth of a great lineage of knights, blades, and even distant sellswords or two. It's with this knowledge that I'll try to pen a brief treatise on the subtle art of war. Not mage fire, not archery, or criminal throat slitting, but war. Man on man with nothing but a fine bit of steel between them. The first thing you'll need to learn is how to block. The best way not to get killed is not to let the other man hit you. Use a shield, use it well. Now you'll get tired from this. You may even get a little hurt, but a blocked blow is much better than a landed one. Over time you'll get better, eventually shrugging off even the mightiest of hits. But beware, your foes, if they're not base cur bandits, will know how to counter you. They'll hit you with everything they've got in order to open you up and keep on hitting, so watch for these powerful attacks. While it's still better to absorb the impact with a quarter-inch of steel, it's better just to try to step out of the way. Remember, against spells, your blocking is useless unless you're trained. So get up on mages quickly and let them eat steel. Deserves them right for using such a witch weapon. You can also block without a shield as well. Just cross that blow with your sword, though this isn't nearly as effective. And if you decide you're fancy, and you want to wield 2 blades, you can't block at all, so don't even try. Without both hands on the hilt, you just won't have the strength to counter the blows. But with a weapon in each hand, you are much more likely to take your opponent down quickly. The best defense, some say. To wield the blade, there are some fundamentals. Quick strikes are always good, but can be repelled, so watch for your opponent's own defense postures. Wait for an opening, or create one with your own heavy attacks. Hammers hit the hardest, but are slow. Same with maces and all blunt weaponry. Axes are a nice middle ground, while swords are the quickest, but won't stagger your opponent as efficiently with the hard hits. Keep an eye not to get too exhausted. Always try to save a little of your strength to counter blows or even to run.
Welcome to war,
Keep
maidens.
moving during
Now
a
you,
fight.
my girl, have
Never let
gentle
yourself get cornered or surrounded.
blades, helmets,
Pick your threats.
pretty much anything
Weak
that suits your
spellcasters
needs.
that can hurt you quick are the first things I fell. The shield is not only a defensive tool. Put your shoulder into it and bash your opponent. This sends them flying and opens them up for quick counter assaults. Even better, put extra weight into it and power bash your opponent. If they're small, this will put them on their knees. Bigger opponents cannot be staggered by heavy attacks. Only the power bash will really knock them around and create openings for you to exploit. So again, block, counter, bash. Hit them while they're down.
Business with you.
They'll show no mercy, so why should you? Battle is about the offensive, about catching your foe early and never relenting. Keep moving, keep swinging. If you consider yourself overly powerful, pick up a 2-handed weapon and see your foes fall before you like wheat stalks. They're slow and unwieldy, but they shatter bones and cleave flesh better than anything. The graves are filled with many a mediocre swordsman. If you don't have the stomach for war, try a monk's work. But if you do travel the path of the warrior, learn the basics and keep your head firmly planted on your shoulders, or someone's bound to lop it off.
You lead, I'll follow.
We've got arms and armor of all kinds. If it's armor you need, we've got all kinds.
Yes?
Think you can steal from me?
Keep your hands to yourself.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years. Need something? It would seem so. I'm getting out of here.
Only a fool himself gets around. Only burglars and vampires creep around after dark. So which are you? Need something? It would seem so.
Sure use a warm bed right about now.
I'm right behind you. What do you want me to carry? Let me know if you need anything. someone there?
What was that?
Can I help you? Certainly. You lead, I'll follow. What can I do for you, friend? It's the least I can do. Is there anything else you need? No, you don't. Is someone there?
your eyes open for traps. Old ruins like this are usually filled with them.
What's that?
Call yourself a dork? Come on, come on!
No! Draugr are slow and clumsy. Hardly a challenge for a man like me. Thief by Revan, the second chapter of the adventures of Eslaf Errol. If the reader has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in the series on the life of Eslaf Errol, entitled Beggar, he should close this book immediately, for I shan't forget. I will tell you this much, gentle reader. When we last saw Eslaf, he was a boy, an orphan, a failed beggar, running through the wild winter woods of Skyrim, away from his home of Erilgard. He continued running, stopping here and there, for many more years, until he was a young man. Eslaf discovered that among the ways of getting food, asking for it was the most troublesome. Far easier was finding it in the wilderness, taking it from unguarded market stalls. The only thing worse than begging to get food was begging for the opportunity to work for the money to buy it. That seemed needlessly complicated. No, as far as Eslaf was concerned, he was best off being a scavenger, a beggar, and a thief. He committed his first act of thievery shortly after leaving Erilgard, while in the southern woods of Tamburkar, in the rugged land near Mount Jensen, just east of the village of Horbelt. Eslav was starving, having not eaten anything but a rather scrawny raw squirrel in 4 days. He smelled meat cooking, and then found the smoke. A band of minstrel bards was making camp. He watched them from the bushes as they cooked, joked, and flirted, and sang. He could have asked them for some food, but so many others had refused him before. Instead, he rushed out, grabbed a piece of meat from the fire, and wincing from the burns, scrambled up the nearest tree to devour it while the bards stood under him and laughed. "What is your next move, thief?" giggled a fair, red-headed woman who was covered with tattoos. "How do you intend to disappear without us catching and punishing you?" As the hunger subsided, Eslav realized she was right. The only way to get out of the tree without falling in their midst was to take the branch down to where it hung over a creek. It was a drop off a cliff about 50 feet. That seemed like the wisest strategy, so Eslav began crawling in that direction. "You do know how to fall, boy," called out a young Khajiit, but a few years older than Eslav, thin but muscular, graceful in his slightest movements. "If you don't, you should just climb down here and take what's coming to you. It's idiotic to break your neck when we just give you some bruises and send you on your way." "Of course I know how to fall," Eslav called back, but he didn't. He just thought the trick of falling was to have nothing underneath you and let nature take its course. But 50 feet up, when you're looking down, is enough to give anyone pause. "I'm sorry to doubt your abilities, Master Thief," said the Khajiit, grinning. "Obviously, you know how to fall feet first with your body straight but loose to avoid cracking like an egg. It seems you are destined to escape us." Eslav wisely followed the Khajiit's hints and leapt into the river, falling without much grace, but without hurting himself. In the years that followed, he had to make several more drops from even greater heights, usually after a theft, sometimes without water beneath him, and he improved the basic technique. When he arrived in the western town of Jalenheim on the morning of his 21st birthday, it didn't take him long to find out who was the richest person and most deserving of being burgled. An impregnable palace in a park near the center of town was owned by a mysterious young man named Suiband. Eslav wasted no time in finding the palace and watching it. The fortified palace he had come to learn was like a person, with quirks and habits beneath its hard shell. It was not an old place. Evidently, whatever money this Suiband had come into was fairly recent. It was regularly patrolled by guards, implying that the rich man was fearful of being burgled, with good reason. The most distinctive feature of the palace was its tower, rising 100 feet above the stone walls, doubtless giving the occupant a good defensive view. Eslav guessed that if Suiband was as paranoid as he guessed him to be, the tower would also provide a view of the palace storehouse. The rich man would want to keep an eye on his fortune. That meant that the loot couldn't be directly beneath the tower, but somewhere in the courtyard within the walls. The light in the tower shone all night long, so Eslav boldly decided that the best time to burgle was by the light of day, when Suiband must sleep. That would be the time the guards would least expect a thief to pounce. And so, when the noon sun was shining over the palace, Eslav quickly scaled the wall near the front gate and waited, hidden in the crenellations. The interior courtyard was plain and desolate, with few places to hide, but he saw that there were 2 wells. One the guards used from time to time to draw up water and slake their thirsts, but Eslav noticed that guards would pass by the other well, never using it. He waited until the guards were distracted, just for a second, by the arrival of a merchant in a wagon, bearing goods for the palace. While they were searching his wagon, Eslav leapt, elegantly, feet first, from the wall into the well. It was not a particularly soft landing, for, as Eslav had guessed, the well was not full of water, gold. Still, he knew how to roll after a fall, and he didn't hurt himself. In the dank subterranean storehouse, he stuffed his pockets with gold, and was about to go to the door, which he assumed would lead to the tower, when he noticed a gem the size of an apple, worth more than all the gold that was left. Eslav found room for it down his pants. The door did indeed lead into the tower, and Eslav followed its curling stairwell up, walking quietly but quickly. At the top, he found the master of the palace's private quarters, ornate and cold, with invaluable artwork and decorative swords and shields on the walls. Eslav assumed the snoring lump under the sheets was Suiband, but he didn't investigate too closely. He crept to the windows and looked out. It was going to be a difficult fall, for certs. He needed to jump from the tower, past the walls, and hit the tree on the other side. The tree branches would hurt, but they would break his fall, and there was a pile of hay he had left under the tree to prevent further injury. Eslav was about to leap when the occupant of the room woke up with a start, yelling, "My gem!" Eslav stared at him for a second, wide-eyed. They looked alike, not surprising, since they were brothers. Aslaf Errol's story is continued in the book.
Don't like the looks of this. history in a place like that. I'll bet these walls could tell some amazing stories. Don't like the look of this. What can I do for you, friend? Certainly. All right, what is it? What do you need? Okay, got it. Anything else? I'm right behind you. All right, what is it? What do you need? Okay, got it. 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 Anything else?
open for traps. Old ruins like this are usually filled with them.
Wow. Would you look at that?
The ancient Nords were a savage people, but they built some remarkable crypts and temples.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Hey, watch it!
Can I help you? You go on ahead. We heading out? Excellent. Can I help you? All right, what is it? What do you need?
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Anything else?
Lone travelers can find these woods a little tricky. Come on now. My carriage is the safest way to travel. Wouldn't wander here alone.
Did you see a dog out
Come
there?
on now. My carriage is the safest way to travel.
I don't know, really. The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road. I was hoping you'd seen it. Guess I'll stay on the lookout. Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
There once was a hero named Ragnar. He came riding through Iceland on all.
Hello? Hello?
A hearty welcome to Fall Creek. All of Skyrim's true sons are welcome here.
Let me know if you want anything.
You to talk to me that way.
Hope you're willing to back those words up with your fists.
That's all you've got.
Yes? Need something? It can't be helped.
Need something? Divine smile on you, friend. Needs.
Dance and Fire, Chapter 6, by Wageen Yarth. Chapter 6 of A Clerk's Adventures in Valenwood. Decimus Scotti sat down, listening to Laides Eurus. The clerk could hardly believe how fat his former colleague at Lord Atreus's building commission had become. The piquant aroma of the roasted meat dish before Scotti melted away. All the other sounds and textures of Cathala Hall vanished all around him, as if nothing else existed. Vast Scotti did not consider himself an emotional man. He felt a tide flow over him at the sight and sound of the man whose badly written letters had been the guideposts and carried him from the Imperial City back in early Frostfall. Where have you been? Eurus demanded again. I told you to meet me in Falinesti weeks ago. I was there weeks ago, Scotti stammered, too surprised to be indignant. I got your note to meet you in Athe, so I went there. But the Khajiit had burned it to the ground. Somehow, I found my way with the refugees in another village, and someone there told me that you had been killed. And you believed that right away? Eurus sneered. The fellow seemed very well informed about you. He was a clerk from Lord Vanek's building commission, named Reglius, and he said that you had also suggested he come down to Valenwood to profit from the war. Oh, yes, said Eurus, after thinking a moment. I recall the name now. Well, it's good for business to have two representatives from Imperial building commissions here. We just need to all coordinate our bids, and all should be well. Reglius is dead, said Scotti, but I have his contracts from Lord Vanek's commission. Even better, gasped Eurus, impressed. I never knew you were such a ruthless competitor, Decimus Scotty. Yes, this could certainly improve our position with the Silvenar. Have I introduced you to Basseth here? Scotty had only been dimly aware of the Bosmer's presence at the table with Eurus, which was surprising, given that the Mur's girth nearly equaled his dining companion. Clerk nodded to Basseth coldly, still numb and confused. It had not left his mind that only an hour earlier, Scotty had intended to position the Silvenar for safe passage through the border back to Cyrodiil. The thought of doing business with Eurus after all, of profiting from Valenwood's war with Elsewhere, and now the second one with the Somerset Isle, seemed like something happening to another person. Your colleague and I were talking about the Silvenar, said Basseth, putting down the leg of mutton he had been gnawing on. I don't suppose you've heard about his nature. A little, but nothing very specific. I got the impression that he's very important and very peculiar. He's the representative of the people, legally, physically, and emotionally, explained Eurus, a little annoyed at his new partner's lack of common knowledge. When they are healthy, so is he. When they are mostly female, so is he. When they cry for food or trade or an absence of foreign interference, he feels it too and makes laws accordingly. In a way, he's a despot, but he's the people's despot. That sounds, said Scotty, searching for the appropriate word, like bunk. Perhaps it is, shrugged Basseth, but he has many rights as the voice of the people, including the granting of foreign building and trade contracts. It's not important whether you believe us. Just think of the Silvenar as being like one of your mad emperors, like Pelagius. The problem facing us now is that since Valenwood has been attacked on all sides, the Silvenar's aspect is now one of distrust and fear of foreigners. The one hope of his people, and thus of the Silvenar himself, is that the Emperor will intervene and stop the war. Will he? Asked Scotty. You know as well as we do that the Emperor has not been himself lately. Eurus helped himself to Regulus' satchel and pulled out the blank contracts. Who knows what he'll choose to do or not do? That reality is not our concern. These blessings from the late good Sir Regulus make our job much simpler. They discussed how they would represent themselves to the Silvenar into the evening. Scotty ate continuously, but not nearly so much as Eurus and Basseth. When the sun had begun to rise in the hills, its light reddening through the crystal walls of the tavern, Eurus and Basseth left to their rooms at the palace, granted to them diplomatically, in lieu of an actual immediate audience with the Silvenar. Scotty went to his room. He thought about staying up a little longer to ruminate over Eurus's plans, to see what might be the flaw in them, but upon touching the cool, soft bed, he immediately fell asleep. The next afternoon, Scotty awoke, feeling himself again. In other words, timid. For several weeks now, he had been a creature bent on mere survival. He had been driven to exhaustion, attacked by several jungle beasts, starved, nearly drowned, and forced into discussions of ancient Aldmeri poetical works. The discussion he had with Eurus and Basseth about how to dupe the Silvenar into signing their contracts seemed perfectly reasonable then. Scotty dressed himself in his old battered clothes and went downstairs in search of food and a peaceful place to think. "You're up!" cried Basseth upon seeing him. "We should go to the palace now." Nords Arise. Nords Arise by Anonymous. Stormcloak's recruitment essay calling for rebellion against the Empire.
Nords, arise. Throw off the shackles of imperial oppression. Do not bow to the yoke of a false emperor. Be true to your blood, to your homeland. The Empire tells us we cannot worship Holy Talos. How can man set aside a god? How can a true Nord of Skyrim cast aside the god that rose from our own heartland? Mighty Tiber Septim, himself the first emperor, conqueror of all Tamriel, ascended to godhood to sit at the right hand of Akatosh. Tiber Septim, a true son of Skyrim, born in a land of snow and blood, bred to the honor of our people, is now Talos, god of might and honor. The Empire has no right to tell us we cannot worship him. Our own High King, Torrig, betrayed us to the Empire. He traded our god for peace. He agreed to a pact with the Talmor, signed by an emperor in a foreign land. Are we to be beholden to such a pact? No, 1,000 times no. Do not let the lessons of history go unheeded. The Altmeri Dominion and its Talmor masters made war upon men, just as the elves made war upon Ysgramor and our people in ancient times. Shining Sartar was burned to the ground, reduced to ruins and rubble in their treacherous assault. But Ysgramor and his sons gathered the 500 companions and made war upon the elves, casting them out of Skyrim. In the great war fought by our fathers, the elves again betrayed men by attacking us unprovoked. The Dominion and the Talmor cannot be trusted. Like Ysgramor, Ulfric Stormcloak is a true hero of Skyrim. His name will ring in Sovngarde for generations to come. Only he had the courage to single out King Torrig and challenge him to trial by arms. Ulfric's Thum, a gift from Talos himself, struck down this traitorous ruler, and by his death, we are now free of our imperial shackles and the Salmor overlords that darken the imperial throne. The Empire has sent its legions to govern us. They have enlisted our own countrymen to their cause. They have set brother against brother, father against son. They have caused Skyrim to battle itself in their name, for their cause. Do not let them divide us. Do not let them conquer us. Reject the imperial law that forbids the worship of Talos. Join Ulfric Stormcloak and his cause.
Oh? Have you heard something? I wish I could say I didn't believe it. Thank you for telling me. Well, I guess I should be getting back to work. Here you go. Something to drink. On the house. Welcome to Dead Man's Drink. Let's sate that appetite, hmm? You hear any juicy gossip in town? Be sure to share it with me. I escaped fighting in Cyrodiil. Take a look. right here if you need anything else.
What can I get for you? All right, what is it? What do you need? Anything else? Still here. All right, what is it? What do you need? Not for you, not for anyone. Anything else?
What do you... Huh? Take a look. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
You left this over there. You're lucky. Someone else might have kept it for himself. Here you go. You left this over there. You're lucky. Someone else might have kept it for himself. Here you go.
Oh. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
What do you need? Need something? It can't be.
Hello? Hello? As if Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders. Now we got mercenaries from Hammerfell strutting about. Need something? Hmm?
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Well met. What can I do for you, stranger? Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Well met, and welcome to Falkreath. Don't worry, unlike my brother, I've no dislike of strangers. Met lots of them while I was a Stormcloak. What can I do for you, stranger? Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures. Steal. Anything from my shop. Well met. Unlike my brother, I've... Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Be seeing you, stranger.
Can I help you?
Look around all you want, but don't try anything funny.
Of course. You lead, I'll follow.
Can I get you something? Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures. Mm-hmm. Hey, you planning to steal something? Don't even think about it. Looking for something? Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out. Welcome to Dead Man's Drink. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry. Hear any juicy gossip in town?
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Huh?
How can I assist? Need something?
Here, look at this.
Well met. Unlike my brother, I've no dislike of strangers. Take a look. Steve, can I get you something? Take a look. Beast. Give you strength.
How dare you?
Look around all you want, but don't try anything funny. Hey, you planning to steal something? Don't even think about it.
Got your back. Let me know if you need anything.
Hi. You see those warriors from Hammerfell? Need something? Get away from me.
Yes? Did you see a hound on the road? Fine, strong creature that's been wandering near town. I asked the gate guards to look for him. Can't afford to chase him down, but could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep company. If you are willing to retrieve him for me, I'd give you some fresh meat for trapping out on the road. Good. There's some gold in it for you if you succeed. Here's the meat. Check the road just outside the town.
Unless you intend to bury someone, this isn't the place you're looking for, traveler. Aye, quite so. Skyrim's history of war is well documented here in Falkreath's graveyard. Falkreath was once full of wanderers and warriors like yourself. Nowadays, unless you intend to bury someone, this isn't the place you're... He's a good lad. My nephew has always been handed things. Even the title of Jarl. But he's learned. Watch it.
Brief History of the Empire by Strana Cathage III, Imperial Historia, a description of events in the history of the Empire. Part 3. The first volume of this series told in brief the story of the succession of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, from Tiber I to Kintyra II. The second volume described the War of the Red Diamond and the 6 emperors that followed in its aftermath, from Uriel III to Cassander I. At the end of that volume, it was described how the Emperor Cassander's half-brother, Uriel IV, assumed the throne of the Empire of Tamriel. It will be recalled that Uriel IV was not a Septim by birth. His mother, though she reigned as empress for many years, was a dark elf married to a true Septim emperor, Pelagius III. Uriel's father was actually Cateria I's consort after Pelagius's death, a Breton nobleman named Gal. Lost Legends by Talsgar the Elder, Archivist of Winterhold, a collection of less well-known folk tales from Skyrim's past. The history of Skyrim is vast, predating even the most ancient records of man and mare. Much has been lost, fallen to the ravages of war or the turning of the ages, but nothing is ever truly forgotten. Where no records exist, legends and folk tales offer us a key to the past, a way to piece together truths half remembered in the minds of men. For generations, the people of Mortal have told whispered tales of the Pale Lady, a ghostly woman who wanders the northern marshes, forever seeking her lost daughter. Some say she steals children who wander astray, others that her sobbing wail strikes dead all those who hear it. But behind these tales may lie a kernel of truth, for the ancient records speak of Omriel, a mysterious figure Ysgramor's heirs battled for decades and finally sealed away. Reachmen tell the story of Phelan Red Eagle, an ancient king who rallied his people and drove back the armies of Cyrodiil with a flaming sword. So accounts vary, they too seem to be based on an underlying truth. The imperial chronicles of Empress Hestra mention a rebel leader of that era who was eventually cornered and slain in battle at the cost of a full legion of men. But some tales prove far harder to analyze. Among scholars, perhaps the best known is the forbidden legend of the Archmage Galder. In the dawning days of the First Era, the story goes, there lived a powerful wizard by the name of Galder. Wise and just, he was well known in the courts of King Harold and the Jarls of Skyrim, and his aid and counsel was sought by man and mare alike. And then he was murdered. Some say one of his sons killed him. Others, that King Harold, jealous of his power, gave the order himself. But Galder's 3 sons fled into the night, pursued by a company of Harold's best warriors and the Lord Geramond, the king's personal battle mage. A great chase ensued, from the wilds of the Reach to the glacial north. One brother is said to have perished in the ruin. The Oblivion Crisis by Praxis Sarcorum, Imperial Historian. A summary of the events stemming from the assassination of Emperor Uriel Septim VII. At the turning of the Fourth Age, in the year Third Era 433, the Emperor Uriel Septim VII was assassinated, and the Amulet of Kings was destroyed. This set in motion a chain of events that would bring down an empire and change forever the relationship between man and the gods. The assassins first attacked the Emperor in the White Gold Tower. While the Blades held them back, the Emperor made his way down to the dungeons, to a secret escape route built into one of the prison cells. For reasons known only to himself, the Emperor pardoned the fortunate prisoner in that cell. Some say the prisoner reminded him of a childhood friend. Others say it was a moment of prophecy. Whatever the case, the prisoner came to play a fateful role in the history of the Empire in Tamriel, surely a sign that the gods themselves were at work. The pursuing assassins killed the Blade's bodyguards in a relentless series of sneak attacks. Eventually, they struck down the Emperor himself. Before he fell, Uriel Septim VII gave the Amulet of Kings to the prisoner, who somehow made it out of the Imperial sewers and into the light of day. The assassination is now known to have been the work of a group of Daedric cultists known as the Mythic Dawn. Those who still suspect the Dark Brotherhood should consider 2 facts. First, they would have only needed a single assassin, not a small army of them. Second, the Dark Brotherhood would never be so foolish as to effectively declare war on the Empire and thus ensure their complete destruction. Witness the eventual fate of the Mythic Dawn. The Amulet of Kings next surfaced at Wayne Priory near Chorrol. Joffrey, secret Grand Master of the Blades and head of the Priory, took possession of the amulet. The messenger was sent off to Kvatch to find a lowly priest named Martin. Unbeknownst even to himself, Martin was the bastard son of Uriel Septim VII and the last heir to the Ruby Throne. He alone could use the Amulet of Kings to light the dragon fires that wards the barrier between Tamriel and Oblivion and save the world from the Mythic Dawn plot. The prisoner arrived at Kvatch to find it overrun by Daedra that had poured in from a newly opened Oblivion Gate, the start of the empire-spanning devastation of the Oblivion Crisis. How the prisoner closed the gate is not recorded. Once closed, Martin and the surviving Kvatch guardsmen drove back the Daedra. Now known as the hero of Kvatch, the prisoner and Martin returned to Wayne Priory, only to find the Priory sacked and the amulet taken. Joffrey survived the attack, however, and the three of them made their way to Cloud Ruler Temple, Bastion of the Blades. This secret fortress in the mountains outside Bruma is where Martin was held safe while the hero of Kvatch searched for the lost amulet. Knowing only that a mysterious group called the Mythic Dawn was behind the assassination and theft of the amulet, the hero of Kvatch was sent to locate the cult. With the help of Baurus, a blade in the service of the Emperor, they somehow used the commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes, esoteric works by the madman Mankar Cameron, to direct them to the Mythic Dawn's secret lair. Scholars familiar with the commentaries claim the location is not directly mentioned. How they did this remains a mystery. No official records exist of how the hero of Kvatch penetrated the Mythic Dawn's lair near Lake Arius. There is a bardic tale that claims the hero used trickery and disguise, but that is just speculation. What was discovered there is that Mankar Cameron was behind the Mythic Dawn, and that the group worshipped the Daedric prince Mehrunes Dagon. Mankar Cameron believed himself to be a direct descendant of the Cameron usurper, the infamous pretender to the throne of Valinor. Somehow, the hero escaped with the Mysterium Xarxes itself, the holy book of the Mythic Dawn cult. Mankar Cameron fled to Oblivion with the Amulet of Kings. With some effort, a great risk to his sanity, Martin deciphered the Mysterium Xarxes and intended to use it to open a gateway to Mankar Cameron in order to recover the Amulet of Kings. Before Martin could perform the ritual to open the gateway, Mehrunes Dagon opened an Oblivion Gate outside Bruma. The hero of Kvatch saved the city and Martin by entering the gate and closing it before a Daedric siege engine could destroy Bruma and Cloud Ruler Temple. Many songs and stories have been told of this battle, and I will not retell them here. The hero of Kvatch was now also known as the savior of Bruma. With the city and Cloud Ruler Temple safe, Martin opened the portal to Mankar Cameron's paradise. The details of what transpired in this place have not been recorded. All that is known is that the savior of Bruma traveled to this paradise, killed Mankar Cameron, and returned with the Amulet of Kings. With the amulet in hand, Martin Septon presented himself to the Elder Council to be crowned Emperor of all Tamriel. Once crowned, he planned to relight the dragon fires and seal Tamriel from oblivion. In a last-ditch attempt to stop him, Mehrunes Dagon launched an assault on the Imperial City, opening several Oblivion gates within the capital itself. Uncrowned, Martin joined the battle in the city streets. Mehrunes Dagon himself left Oblivion and entered Tamriel, breaking the Covenant. Only the unlit dragon fires allowed this to be possible. Now that the barrier was ripped asunder, it was too late to relight the fires. Martin Septon chose to make the ultimate sacrifice. He shattered the Amulet of Kings to become the avatar of the god Akatosh and to do battle with Mehrunes Dagon. Records of this battle vary wildly. What we do know is that Mehrunes Dagon was defeated and sent back to Oblivion. The avatar of Akatosh was turned to stone and can be seen to this day in the Temple of the One in the Imperial City. With the amulet gone, and the dragon fires quenched, and the last Dragon Blood Emperor dead, the barrier to Oblivion is sealed forever.
Dragon Stone of Bleak Falls Barrow. Seems you are a cut above the usual fruits the Jarl sends my way. That is where your job ends and mine begins. My associate here will be pleased to see your handiwork. She discovered its location by means she has so far declined to share with. Is everything well with you?
Don't worry about me.
Mind your own business.
Oh well.
You went into Bleak Falls Barrow and got that? Nice work. Just send me a copy when you've deciphered it.
Perhaps dating just after the Dragon War. so, you need to cross-reference the names with other later.
Good.
You see? The terminology is clearly First Era or even Earth. I'm convinced this is the core. You need to come at once. A dragon. The dragon. The dragon. How exciting. Where was it? What was it doing?
Good. I'm glad you're making progress. My employer